He's killing my mountain time. That first 2 weeks of October is typically TC's, get it all out of his system and, chase a bear around and stuff like that. And now I gotta come hang out with you guys again,
Come on, do it.
Yeah.
Come and get it.
All about work ethic around here, James Jones.
Just don't stop.
Yeah, and it don't stop for you either.
No.
I mean, again, I want to start with the most recent transaction in Portland, and you were asked about it too. I mean, it's never easy to let go of somebody like a DeAndre Ayton who started his career here, but I think there's this prevailing opinion by many that Yusuf Nurkic is just such a great fit for this team. Not that DA would not have been, but tell us the thought process and targeting a player like Nurkic. Not only, do you get him, but you get Nasir Little, who has all sorts of talent, Grayson Allen, Keon Johnson, but Nurkic is fit.
Oh, I mean, listen, it's clear when you watch him play. Nurk's a really good player, and I just liked his chemistry with our guards. Right? It's can your big guy be a pressure release valve for your guards? Like, we're going to have two on those guys at all times. Can he make the right read? Can he roll to the basket and will he score? Will he make the right pass? But understanding that he's a big, like, we need him in the paint. We need him at the rim, right? We need him to be big, and we need him to get primarily the rest of our guys open. And he's demonstrated the ability to do both. If you need him to just be a guy that gets his guys open and facilitate, he does it. If you need him to punish the switch, he does it. But more importantly, he doesn't complain, and he embraces it. And so we're looking forward to him being with our guys. And I know that they respect the heck out of him, and that's the biggest thing that you need when you're talking about that two-man game.
You know what I like about him? He ain't scared. Have you seen his father?
Yeah. No, I mean,
yeah, he ain't scared. You talk about those Jokic brothers. This guy's got the Nurkic father.
Oh, no.
I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
But you see him play. He doesn't back down from anything. He's got his face right in the middle of everything. And to have a guy right there that's going to be standing in front of the rim, people are going to be like, do I really want to go in there against this man? Because he's a man inside.
Yeah, no, and he loves that part of it.
Yeah.
He loves the paint. And that's what's going to make us different. He's going to make us different. And then you touched on it, Nasir, Keon, and Grayson Allen. Those are NBA rotation guys, and you can't have too many of those. And I was just telling someone earlier, like, since I've been here, I've been chasing the training camp that has 15 guys that can go after it, right? And knowing coming out of this training camp, some guys are going to be on the outside looking in, but they have the talent to get back into the mix, and that's what you want to have as a team.
Well, that's what I mean. You say 15. You've got 18, and the guys that, like you say, that aren't going to make it here, may have to be somewhere else, are all legitimate NBA guys. If people say this team isn't deep, you're going to have to deal with, because you got 3 extra guys that can still play in this league. You know?
You can never have enough depth, right? And we know this season is a gauntlet. You're going to play a lot of games. We hope to play a lot of games in the playoffs as well. But in between that, we need to have a lot of high-level practices and scrimmages, and that's what this team is built for. You don't get better in games. You show them how much you've improved in games. And so, like, to think that we're going to be able to go out there and just turn it on, flip a switch, and say, hey, use the games as practice, is foolish. Like, it takes more than that.
Yeah, Matt was talking about building around the big three, and obviously that's always going to be the topic, especially today on Media Day. But you've been kind of the Picasso of putting together a roster, constructing a roster that makes sense, and building at least 3 deep at every position. 13 new players arrive at training camp, 13 new Suns. When you look at the list of role guys, I'll call them. I mean, again, you got Eric Gordon, you got Yuta Watanabe, and I know you don't want to pick favorites, but are there a couple of players that, and even, watching them work out over the last couple of weeks at the practice facility, you're like, I can see that young man receiving a lot of playing time?
I don't, because we evaluated and watched them throughout the course of the season, and we brought them here because of what we saw in games in season. The summer is great. Like, everyone looks like a star in the summer. It's only when they bump up against each other do you realize if those improvements that they made in the summer will stick. And so that's why I say I'm more focused on making sure that we have competition at every position. And then those guys will determine who we like. Like, we'll see it in training camp. We'll see it in the preseason. And then it'll be reflected in games. And at that point in time, I'll be like, hey, you know what? I think player X is really surprising me. Because to the point about us having 13 new Suns, we're not asking these guys to come in and be something different. We're asking them to come in and continue to be NBA players that were effective. And if they do that, I think we're in a good spot.
How did you sign 6 players in 5 minutes?
Man, it's
seriously. Seriously, I was like, I couldn't keep track of it. I had a pretty good signal on.
Well, I mean, I think if you look at the rest of the league, that's what free agency is like across the league, right? Because players know, especially those that are looking for winning situations, those things move quickly. So it's one of those things where like it continues to get faster and faster, but you just have to attack. Like you target people that you want, you tell them that you want them, and you give them timelines and say, hey, I need you to give me a heads up. And more importantly, if they're about what they're saying, like they'll respond, they'll react. Like if they really want to be here, they'll tell you I want to be here, and they'll come out swinging.
Well, you've given them a lot of reasons to be here too.
You also have Trevor and Ryan too to help make some of these calls.
Trevor, Ryan, Morgan in the front
James, I got
office.
so-and-so on the line.
Yeah, I mean,
let's get this thing done.
And the reality is there's only, like, you're talking about limited numbers of opportunities. And the opportunity to win a title or compete for a title is enticing. And guys are, they're locked in and they're coming our way.
All right, last one. I think we have Frank Vogel ready, but I've got to ask you because my sons are telling me, my 2 sons, not S-U-N-S, S-O-N-S, they're so excited about Bol Bol. And so many fans are out there.
That's my guy, man.
I know. What do you expect from him? What should fans expect from him on this team? He's kind of the mystery man.
We'll see.
We'll
He's intriguing, and it's intriguing for us to see how he'll respond around this group. I don't think he's ever been around a group like this.
No.
And usually talented players find a way to stand out. So that's the hope with him.
Sorry, we were at the beach in California. My 2 boys started hugging. We got Bol Bol.
Well, I think your fantasy team is going to change names this year. And he'll be your first pick, probably.
Well, no, not mine. It'll be one of the boys.
That's awesome. Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me, man.
James,
Good to see you. Welcome back to the season.
Oh, yeah.
No kidding. I know.